So the second topic that we are going to talk about is Rizal in Belgian, Brussels. So Brussels is the capital city of Belgium, which is located in Europe. So before going to Brussels, Jose Rizal was living in Paris in 1889. However, he experienced problems in Paris. And there are two reasons why he left Paris. First, high cost of living. Paris became very expensive because of universal exposition, so the prices of foods, housing, and other daily needs increased. Since limited ra ang money ni Rizal, it was hard for him to continue living there. Second, the social life distracted him. So Paris had so many social activities such as gatherings, entertainment, and friends, and these distractions affected his focus, most especially writing his second novel na El Filibustrismo. According to his friends na si Marcelo H. del Pilar and Valentin Ventura, they believed na nihawa si Rizal sa Paris because he was running away from his girls. And Valentin Ventura, isa sa mga friends ni Rizal, generously invited Rizal to stay with him in Paris without paying rent. But Rizal still chose to leave Paris. When he decided to leave and move to Brussels in 1890, and he was accompanied by Jose Albert, and they lived in a modest boarding house at Rue Philippe Champagne, managed by the two sisters, Susan Jacobi and Marie Jacobi. Later, Jose Albert left the city and was replaced by Jose Alejandro, an engineering student na nahimong new companion ni Rizal. Jose Albert left the city for a reason na mubalik siya in the Philippines. So, unsa may gipanghimo ni Rizal while staying in Brussels? Of course, he was busy writing his second novel na El Filibustrismo, which is iyang main focus while staying in Brussels. He also spent part of his time in the medical clinic practicing his profession as a doctor. He also had gymnastics, target practice, and fencing or sword fighting. Rizal also wrote articles for La Solidaridad and letters for his family and friends. So, La Solidaridad was a newspaper created by Filipino reformists in Spain. Writers like Jose Rizal, Marcelo H. del Pilar, and others used it to express their ideas. So, ang goal aning La Solidaridad is that to show the problems in the Philippines under the Spanish rule, and ask for reforms or changes, like fair treatment and equal rights for Filipinos. And these are the articles published in La Solidaridad. First, a la defensa, defends Filipinos from unfair criticism. La Verdad para Todos talks about truth and fairness for everyone. Vicente Barantes Teatro Tagalog criticized a Spanish author who looked down on Filipino culture. Una Profanación talks about disrespect or abuse, especially by authorities. Verdades Nuevas presents new ideas and truths about society. Crueldad prescribes cruelty or injustice happenings in the Philippines. Diferencias talks about the difference between Spaniards and Filipinos. Inconsecuencias points out contradiction in Spanish policy. Lento y Risas shows both sad and happy realities about society. Ingratitudes talks about lack of appreciation or gratitude. So Rizal used La Solidaridad to express his ideas about truth, justice, and the problems in the Philippines. So his articles criticized unfair treatment, defended Filipinos, and called for reforms. New orthography to Tagalog language. So orthography means the correct system of a writing and spelling of a language. While in Brussels, Jose Rizal wrote an important article published in La Solidaridad on April 15, 1890 with the title Sobre la nueva ortografía de la lengua Tagala, or the new orthography of the Tagalog language. So the main idea of this article is that Rizal wanted to improve the way Tagalog language was written. So Rizal suggested a simpler and more Filipino way of writing. He was the first to promote Filipinization of writing, meaning using letters and spelling based on how Filipino actually speak. So instead of Spanish-style spelling, he used of letters that match Filipino pronunciation. So in his article, Rizal gave rules on how to write Tagalog properly, such as use letters that match the sound, remove unnecessary Spanish letters, and make writing clearer and easier to read. So his goal was to make the language more understandable for Filipinos. So while writing about the Tagalog language, Jose Rizal suggested important changes in spelling to make it more natural for Filipinos. So use of letters K and W instead of Spanish letters. So Rizal said that some Spanish letters should be replaced with letters that match how Filipino actually speak. For example, salakot in Tagalog, salakot with a K, and araw in Tagalog, araw na nailisdan ang O into W. This makes the words easier to read and pronounce. So Rizal gave credit to Trinidad H. Pardo de Tavera for helping to promote and adopt the new way of writing. Rizal criticizes Madrid, Filipinas for gambling. So while in Europe, Jose Rizal received news from Juan Luna and Valentin Ventura that some Filipinos in Madrid were spending too much
of his death. During sa iyang pagstay in Brazil, si Jose Rizal naka-experience of bad dreams every night. Na-feel niya dili siya magbuhi og dugay, pero wala siya mahadlok sa iyang kamatayon. Ang iyaha lang basta mahuman niya ang iyang second novel, which is ang Al Filibusterismo. Sa iyang letter kang Marcelo H. del Pilar, giingon niya nga naa siya sad feeling. Basin dili siya maabot og 33 years old. Giingon po niya nga ready siya mamatay. Ug gigamit niya ang pin name nga Laong Laan, which means always ready. Preparation to go home. Dili na kaya ni Rizal nga magstay lang si Brussels ug magsulat lang. While his family and friends in Philippines ginapasikitan o ginapersecute, naluoy siya and he wants to help them. Ang iyang friends nga sila Ferdinand Blumentritt, Jose Maria Basa ug Mariano Pons nahadlok sa iyang plano nga kay dangerous kayo if mauli siya in Philippines. Decision to go to Madrid. Ang iyang brother nga si Pasiano Rizal sulat sa iyaha about sa family case sa mga Dominicans Orders Friars. Ang case giapila ngadto sa Supreme Court sa Spain. Tungod ani nakadesisyon si Rizal nga moadto sa Madrid aron siya mismo ang mabantay sa case. He also said to Del Pilar nga mahimong lawyer nila. Ame, sa panahon nga naglibog si Rizal sa Brussels, sulat siya og poem nga Ame, or to my muse. This poem full of sadness, kay naguna na siya sa iyang problems sa iyang family ug sa iyang kahimtang. Romance with Suzanne Jacobi. Bisan og sad si Rizal, napoy duha ka things nga nahatag sa iya og small nga happiness. Ang Summer Festival in Belgium. Dagan fun, parade ug colorful celebration. Ang ihang ka-romance nga si Suzanne Jacobi. Handsome, kind, and respected si Rizal. Mao nga na-fell in love si Suzanne niya. Si Rizal pod lonely sa foreign country ug layo kang Leonor Rivera. When Rizal left for Madrid in July 1890, Suzanne cried. Nasakitan siya sa ilahang separation ni Rizal.